Thank you very much. It's a very, very lovely Wednesday morning to you right here in the city of Lagos. Welcome to Sport Updates, where we give you the very best when it comes to sports and stories, making the rounds. DFP Podka will be going down today, and of course, the Classico as well will also be going down. I'll take a very short break, and I'll be right back to give you all of the details. To stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. My name is Adeyanju Ayomi. A very lovely Wednesday morning to you right here in the city of Lagos. Start off with the NFF, where Crisis seems to be rocking the NFF. Yesterday, there was a malicious video that was released online about the way NFF money has been spent lately. Accusations of over 10 billion naira, it must be said. And then the NFF also yesterday released a statement that that report is actually false. And subsequently, as the week progresses, we're going to be filling you in because the people, the source that released that video also claimed that there's a continuation to that video. When it comes to the NFF, the drama, they say, is unending. But yesterday, the Under-20 were involved in a match yesterday in the Under-20 AFCON qualification right there in Niger Republic, I beg your pardon, and they played South Africa. It ended 0-0. Let's quickly look at the statistics that came out from that match yesterday. Thank you very much, Director. Now, South Africa, 34% ball possession, and then Nigeria 66. Shot on target for South Africa 1, shot on goal 2, and then Nigeria 13-3. It tells you that the Nigerian team dominated that encounter, but unfortunately, they were unable to get the goal eventually. Now, fouls or shared them apart, 15 fouls, it must be said. Assist 0, corners Nigeria 7-1 to South Africa in that keenly contested encounter. Now, yellow cards for the South Africans 2, and then of course Nigeria 0, red card, no red card in that encounter. Offside 0-0, substitution 3-2. From this start, it tells you the team that actually had the better game. Unfortunately, the Nigeria Under-20 Eagles were unable to grind out the required results. If they had won that match yesterday, they would have qualified automatically for the semi, for the straight into the World Cup, and that will be going down in Poland later this year. Also, we need to bring you, notice you that the other teams in the same group with the Nigerian Under-20 teams also played 3-3 draw yesterday. Quickly, let's also look at the stats. Burundi versus Niger Republic, 3-3. It ended the Burundi 53% possession of the ball, and then Niger 47, shot on goal 16. Shot on goal for Niger 14. It must be said, interesting game yesterday. So the group is kind of like open, but you can say that the Under-20 Eagles have one leg in the World Cup, it must be said. Moving over to basketball this morning, some interesting games went down where LA Lakers lost yesterday quickly. Okay, but before we go to the NBA, let's quickly look at NPFL fixtures that will be going down today. Thank you, Director. Enugu Rangers versus Lobby Stars. Go Round FC will be hosting Kano Pillars, and then Gombe United will be going to Ifeanyi Uba. Kada City will be playing host to Academy Warriors. Castina United will be facing Bendel Insurance, and then Nasarawa United will play Plateau United. Niger Tornadoes will be hosting Sunshine Stars of Akure. Remo Stars will be hosting MFM. Rivers United will play Kwara United, and then Wiki Tourists will face a Yimba. Interesting MPFL fixtures going down today, it must be said. Yes, some have argued that these games are coming back to back and that the players need some rest, but of course also in Europe you have at least 3 games. You have 3 games in 1 week. At times you have 2 games in the space of 5 days, it must be said. So hopefully let's just wait and see. It's been interesting in the NPFL this season. We've seen teams pick up a waypoint. It promises to be really, really exciting. Now, earlier on, I wanted to talk about the NBA results of games that went down in the early hours of this morning. Right here, we have it on our screen. Now, Pixars won LA Lakers by 136-94. Now, that was the highest, that was the lowest score that LeBron James teams have been involved in the past. A very, very terrible result right there. Close to 40 points or thereabouts that the Pacers won the match with. Now, Cavaliers 96, Celtics 103, Hornets 105, Clippers won that encounter by 107, Knicks 92, Pistons 105, 76 Sixers 107, Raptors 119, Thunders 132, now Magic's 122, Memphis Grizzlies 108, Timberwolves 106, Trailblazers 108, and then Miami Heat 118. Those were some of the results of NBA encounter that went down this morning. It must be said, interesting fixtures. And then, of course, you have to remember that the NBA All-Star seasons will be going down very, very soon. You can always trust us that we'll bring you some of the visuals for the NBA All-Star game. Now, going back to football, earlier on, we talked about Jose Mourinho serving a jail sentence, but instead, he has paid his way. Now, yesterday, the ex-Manchester United boss, Jose Mourinho, has agreed a prison terms in Spain for tax and fraud, but he will not go to jail. Now, a 1-year prison sentence will instead be exchanged for a fine of £182,500. It must be said, and that will be added to a separate fine of £2 million. A whole lot of money. In Spain, they have this issue of avoiding paying tax and all. You remember that Lionel Messi at some point was also involved as well. Cristiano Ronaldo also was involved. Now the latest is this man currently on our screen, Jose Mourinho. But all this has been cleared yesterday. He has admitted to it, and then he has paid his fine. Real quick this morning, let's quickly touch on Manchester United. When Wayne Rooney, the all-time leading goal scorer for United, has come out to say that Mauricio Pochettino is the right man to take the reign right there at Old Trafford if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not given the permanent job at the end of the season. Now, Tottenham boss Pochettino will fit perfectly according to Jose Mourinho. This man is one of the touted managers in European football, haven't done very, very well for himself over the years with Tottenham Hotspur, but he's been there for 4 years, and with relatively low budgets, he's really doing great stuff. Pochettino is hailed as the next successor right there to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But people have argued that if you have a manager who have won 9 in 10, it deserves to be given the permanent reign, it must be said. So let's wait to the end of the season. Let's see what the United hierarchy would decide eventually. Now there are going to be DFP Podka fixtures that will be going out today, but before then, a match went down yesterday where we saw a 6-goal thriller between Borussia Dortmund and then Werder Bremen yesterday in a very, very interesting encounter. I must say, yes, that's the highlight currently showing on our screen. Now, more than 80,000 fans saw the game yesterday. Paco Alcácer and Max Philipp missed Dortmund forced 2 penalty kicks after the game had ended earlier on in 3-3. It must be said, interesting game went down yesterday right there in the DFB Podka. Yes, so eventually Werder Bremen qualified into the next phase of that encounter. The penalty shootout ended 4-2 right there. Interesting, it must be said. So real quick, let's look at fixtures of games that will be going on in the DFB Podka today. Yeah, Austin Kiel will be hosting Augsburg, and then RB Leipzig will play host to Wolfsburg, and then Shakhtar 04 will play Fortuna, and then Hertha Berlin will play Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, you can recall that they lost their league game over the course of the weekend. Let's see if they will be able to redeem their image in this particular encounter. Quickly, let's move to the Barclays English Premier League, where today Everton will be playing host to Manchester City. Now, City have the privilege to be able to go 3 points, to be able to tie on points with Liverpool. It must be said, you remember that Liverpool played the 1-1 draw with West Ham during the weekend fixtures that went down, and then Man City also are doing relatively well. So, if they get to win right there at Goodison Park today, they're going to be tied on points with Liverpool with superior goal difference. So, Man City will go to first position, it must be said. But real quick, let's quickly check some statistics when it comes to Man City